Prices are down and inventory is up again. In this video, I'm going to talk about what happened with the Durham region real estate market in July 2024. I'll give you some real numbers and insights and also talk about what this all means for you as a would-be buyer, seller, or a homeowner in the Durham region, which will all help you make the best decisions for you and your family. My name is Vilija Truelove. I'm a local Durham region real estate agent and I'd love to hear from you. If you're moving to or within the Durham region, you can set up an appointment through my calendar link, which you'll find in the description below, or you can send me a text or an email and we can get the process started. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future videos. So we saw 779 sales in July. This is another decrease from the 877 sales that we saw in June. We've been on a downward trend in sales for a few months now. To compare, we had 770 sales in July 2023, so we're actually up a little bit when we compare sales to this time last summer. New listings decreased to 2,023 from the 2,232 we had in June. And looking at active listings, which is the total number of available listings on the MLS at the end of the month, June, we ended the month at 2,182. July, we ended the month with 2,281. So though we saw fewer new homes come on the market, because of fewer sales, we saw inventory continue to increase. Now, prices. The average price in the Durham region for all home types in July was $915,636. This is a decrease of almost $41,000 from the June average of $956,428. Again, comparing this to a year ago, the average price in July 2023 was just over $961,000. So we're just over $46,000 less on average for all home types than we were sitting a year ago. Looking at specific areas in Durham, all areas saw a decrease in price. Pickering saw a decrease of almost $41,000. Ajax decreased just over $56,000. Whitby also just over $56,000. Oshawa almost $47,000, and Clarington just over $45,000. We're still a little higher than the average price we were at in the beginning of the year, though. We started the year with an average price of just over $894,000 for all home types in Durham. So almost $21,000 up from January's average. A few more numbers. The sale to list price ratio went down to 101% from 103%. So this means that while homes are not selling as much over asking as they were, the majority are still selling for asking price or slightly over. Average days on market went up as well to 19. We were at 15 in June. So we're still under 3 weeks on average for a home to sell. Months of inventory was at about 2.9. So typically the greater the months of inventory or supply means we have more sellers than buyers. And this puts us in a buyer's market. And the lower the months of supply means more buyers compared to sellers. And that puts us in a seller's market. In between is considered a balanced market. And most people would consider a balanced market to be between 4 and 6 months or so of inventory. Some will say that 3 months is what puts us in a balanced market. So this number is still telling us that we're in a seller's market heading towards a balanced market. I'd say it won't necessarily feel like that if you're out in the market right now, though. Sales to new listings ratio is another number that we look at, and that divides the number of sales by the number of new listings. So we were at 38.5% for July. Typically around 50% is considered a balanced market. Going lower is a buyer's market, higher is a seller's market. So this number suggests that we're in a balanced market, possibly heading towards or getting into a buyer's market. I'd say this is the more accurate number right now. So what is a would-be buyer or seller to do in this market? Is this the right time to be making a move? And if you're ready to buy or sell, what can you do to put yourself in the best position possible? If you speak to any of my past or current clients, you'll know that my style of selling real estate is not the hard sell. I don't think that buying or selling is always the right call for every person and every situation at every time of the year. Sometimes, often, it makes sense to hold on to the house if it's at all possible for you, as a rental, for example. Or it might make sense for you to rent rather than buy for now for any number of reasons. And I'll be the first person to tell you that if that's the case. But I'm also not the doom and gloom agent because historically, owning real estate in the GTA has proven itself to be a solid long term investment. And when it comes to the realities of life, you have to pay to live somewhere. So that place can be a home that you own or a home that you rent. So if you're ready and able to and you want to buy, you will be ahead 5, 10, 20 years from now. You'll have some equity and you'll have paid down some of your mortgage. And you won't have spent 30,000 or more a year on renting. At least part of that, say $300,000 over 10 years of rent, will have gone towards paying down your principal mortgage instead of somebody else's. So also, something else to consider is that people buy and sell real estate every day of every year and have to make a move for many different reasons: a job change, a divorce, outgrowing your home. So, what you need to do is need to look at your situation and make decisions from there. How are your finances? Do you have solid employment, a down payment, good credit? What will the cost difference be between renting and owning if you're going from a rental? And does that make sense for you? Can you comfortably afford that extra payment? You also don't want to necessarily buy the most expensive home that you can afford. Keep yourself some wiggle room if you can, so that you're not house poor and have some extra if an emergency comes up. You also ideally want to make it a longer term plan. If you're not sure where you're going to be next year, then you'll probably want to hold off. If your employment's unstable, also probably a good idea to wait. If you're sick of renting an apartment or your house is about to explode because your family just doesn't fit anymore, then it could be time to start crunching some numbers. August, and this August in particular, could actually end up being a really great month to buy. A lot of people, buyers as well as agents, tend to take vacation at this time of year. So even less competition than you would normally see out in the market. Also, with the inventory still up, it also means even more homes to choose from. You'll be able to negotiate not only on price, but also make sure that you're able to include financing and home inspection conditions. And you might have other terms that are favorable to you as well, like getting the closing date that you prefer. If you need to sell to be able to buy, or you're just in a place where it is that time that you need to sell, remember there are really only 3 factors when it comes to real estate and 3 reasons why a home will or won't sell. So location is number one, and you can't change the location. The next is the condition of the property. Should you be going and doing a full gut renovation just to sell? Maybe not. But there are so many things that you can be doing to increase the value of your house in the buyer's eyes without spending a ton of money. Painting in fresh neutral colors, small changes like light fixtures and door handles on the kitchen cabinets. Maybe in some cases, even painting the kitchen cabinets white. Also, you'll want to go around and do all of those small jobs that you haven't gotten around to so that the house looks well cared for. And staging the home, ideally having a professional in to do that, because it really makes that much of a difference. And it's the reason that it's included in my selling services, will make the buyer view the home in its best possible light. And it will help you stand out from the competition and make it easier for buyers to fall in love. And of course, the third and most important factor is the price. It doesn't matter what your neighbor sold for during COVID or even last year. You have to look at what homes in your neighborhood are selling for right now and price accordingly. In some situations, in many situations, underpricing with an offer date is not the way to go right now. You might end up disappointed on offer night and needing to relist at a higher price anyway, which ends up causing its own issues. What you really need to do is look carefully at what's happening in your neighborhood right now and base your strategy on that. Homes are definitely still selling. You'll just need to be more patient and realistic. And the days of just throwing a sign on the lawn and having 20 buyers line up to offer you anything that you want are gone, at least for now. If you have questions about your specific situation, whether you're ready to buy or sell, or you want help deciding whether it makes sense for you to do this right now, then reach out by text or email or set an appointment at my calendar link below. I'm always here to help. Thanks so much for watching.